It's almost here, the advent of Yellowstone Season 4. In a few weeks, we'll be able to see the continuation of Season 3's explosive finale, as well as several questions that have been left hanging in the air. Fans are dying to know what will become of the Duttons, and a few other queries too. For today's video, we've compiled a list of important fan questions that need to be answered in Yellowstone Season 4. Series finales are often pumped with shocking revelations or unforeseen events, which usually leaves the audience hanging and begging for more, which is also the case for Yellowstone. The finale episode of Season 3, titled The World is Purple, left a lot of fans reeling with more questions than answers. So let's take a look at some of these frequently asked questions across the web. Will John and the rest of the Duttons survive? One of the burning questions fans have been asking is if the Duttons survived the series attacks that happened on the finale. John Dutton was being a good Samaritan and helping a woman change her flat tire on the road when he was repeatedly shot by several men in a mysterious van. Beth received a peculiar package in her office which turned out to be a bomb, and Kayce was in his office when unknown men started shooting at him. Although we're sure most of the Duttons will come back in Season 4, the question is, will they be alive until the end of the series? Since it's also a possible scenario that they may be wounded and bedridden for the rest of the episodes. So here's to hoping we'll see them alive and well. What happened to Jamie's child? Season 3 is come and gone, yet the mention of Jamie Dutton's child hasn't been brought up, even in passing. If you all remember back in Season 2 when Jamie's ex-girlfriend Christina revealed to him that she was expecting and that he was the father, she then asked him to choose between his baby or his father. But come Season 3, there was no mention of this past event that left viewers puzzled even after Beth discovered the pregnancy. Will we see more of what his child will be in Season 4? Fans are curious to know more. Why did John and Evelyn Dutton adopt Jamie? One of the biggest revelations last season was Jamie finding out that he was not a biological Dutton and that he was adopted by the Duttons while he was barely 3 months old. We also discovered that Jamie's biological father, Garrett Randall, is serving time in prison since it was told that he killed Jamie's birth mother. But how did John and Evelyn fit into the equation? What connection do they have with the likes of Garrett Randall that they stepped in to adopt Jamie in their care? Is Kayce and Beth aware that Jamie is adopted? Another question that fans and viewers of the show have been pondering on is if Beth and Kayce know that Jamie being adopted. Beth and Jamie have a pretty strained relationship as siblings, especially since he took her to the reservations to get an abortion and had her sterilized without her consent years ago. But she even admitted that she'll never love Jamie as much as she loves John and Dutton. So maybe deep down she feels it in her gut that he's not really a Dutton. This revelation may put a wedge between the two's already strained relationship. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Wes Bentley, the actor who portrayed Jamie Dutton, described Beth and Jamie's relationship as broken. There was always hope that they loved each other more than they hated each other, Bentley shared. But I think Jamie, coming with the realization that he isn't even a Dutton, is realizing what he did cannot get fixed, or maybe he doesn't have the ability to fix it. He's trying to be strong there and stand up and say, all right, it's broken. You're right, I'm not even one of you, but I still gotta do something, the actor explained. He also further added, but you know Jamie, he doesn't make the best decisions. He makes a choice, I'll put it that way. Will Rip Wheeler discover Beth and Jamie's shared secret? Rip is aware of Beth's apparent dislike that borders on hatred toward his brother Jamie. And since Beth and Rip are finally engaged after many seasons of slow burn and angst, will she open to him one of the wedges between her and Jamie? How will he handle it? Especially since Jamie had her sterilized without her consent. Knowing Rip, he might blow a fuse or two since it's his beloved Beth we're talking about. Show's creator Taylor Sheridan dragged the two's growing attraction toward each other painfully slowly over the years. But Cole Hauser, the actor who plays Rip Wheeler, loved what the creator did for the two characters, which he shared in an interview with Deadline. He, Taylor Sheridan, made it a slow burn for us, and it's taken 4 years now to investigate each other as people, how their hearts beat. And it's been a pleasure to do that with Kelly, Riley. Beth and Rip are soulmates and have been since they met, Riley also added. They're so tough and hard-headed, and the capacity of violence is in them both. But they provide a safe haven for quiet peace and love. She doesn't have that with anyone else in the show. We see them with all the other characters, and then when they're together, they just bring out a whole different color in each other. Does Kayce Dutton know all of his family's secrets? Out of all the Dutton siblings, Kayce has been the estranged one for quite a while, and only recently made his return to settle in the ranch, along with his wife Monica and son Tate. A former Navy SEAL, he now inherited the position as livestock commissioner from his father. But as we've seen in the series, there's a lot of secrets that Duttons have been keeping, which begs the question, how many of these secrets does Kayce know? And speaking of former Navy SEALs, will we see more of his past serving his country? We sure hope so next season, since he'll come in handy if he could showcase these skills to the people behind the string of attacks in the season 3's finale. What's the deal with Chief Rainwater? Another itch viewers of the show can't seem to scratch off is Chief Rainwater, a Native American tribal chief who also seeks to reclaim the Yellowstone Ranch. Who is he, and who are his family members? How did he even become chief of their tribe? There's so much mystery surrounding this dedicated chief, and fans have also been wondering where there'll be a time when he'll work alongside John Dutton again to suppress a common enemy. Will Jaime become a villain in the upcoming season? With Jaime discovering his origins, could this be the turning point for him to pit against the Duttons? For so long, Jaime's been trying to gain the love and respect of his family despite being brushed aside. And there's also the fact that he has a strong love-hate relationship with Beth. Will we see Jaime finally embrace the dark side? Wes Bentley was careful not to give any hints nor spoilers on how his character will act next season, but he did state the importance of family to Jaime. Maybe he fantasized about being from a different family. Maybe if that family was there for him, he could connect with them and truly have a family connection that he felt was on a deeper level. But then to find out his biological dad is not a good guy, I mean, where do you go from there? I don't know. I have a great mom and dad, I'm lucky. Where I get my spine is from my family, you know what I mean? I stand up because of my family, right? For Jaime, who's he now? He has no spine or legs to stand on. I think Jaime finds family important. He wants that. He wants the love that comes with it. On becoming a villain, he also added, I think it's going to be a really interesting thing to see. I can't say if it will or it won't, but that would be a really interesting path to take. Is Jimmy still alive? Another character whose life is hanging on the line is beloved ranch hand Jimmy Herdstrom, whose love for rodeo may cost him his life. Despite getting in an accident earlier on, which ended up with him being seriously injured and hospitalized with John Dutton stepping in to handle his medical bills, he made a promise to John that he wouldn't go back to rodeo, but during the finale, we saw how the horse bucked him off and left him lying prone in the corral. The actor, Jefferson White, hasn't yet confirmed if his character will live through next season, although he did share the series trailer for season 4. Who's behind this series of attacks? Last but not least, who's behind those attacks? Fans have been theorizing that the one who orchestrated these acts of violence may be a well-known colleague by the Duttons, since they knew their schedule, while some even say that Jaime is the mastermind behind these attacks. Either way, we'll know one way or another next season who's behind these attacks. But for now, we'll have to wrap up today's episode. Thanks for watching today's video, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel before you go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.